Can the Instant Pot cook a short rib perfectly in under an hour? Let's find out. So for those of you who haven't been around the channel long enough, the people that have been here for a while can tell you I'm a huge fan of short ribs. So I figured what better dinner to make right now than test the Instant Pot again with some short ribs. So I have some short ribs here. They weren't the best quality because there's a snowstorm coming here in the Northeast and the supermarkets were wiped out. So they were pretty fatty. So I've trimmed them up a bit. Here are those little just beef bones that I'm also going to throw in just to get that collagen and fat content out. But then all you need is a little bit of chopped up carrot, celery, onion, got a little bit of red wine, and then I have some beef stock that I made the other day that you saw on this channel that we're also going to use. And that should be it. I'm going to serve it over a little bit of mashed potatoes. I'm not going to show you how to make that. There's multiple videos on this channel for mashed potatoes. But let's just see, can the Instant Pot actually save you 3 or 4 hours and make some pretty banging short ribs? Let's find out. First thing we need to do here is brown and sear off these short ribs. I'm going to use a little bit of beef tallow as my oil. I save that whenever I make beef stock, so you guys should be doing the same. These have just been lightly salted and peppered. I try not to go overboard with the salt here because there's going to be a lot of steps in this recipe where there's salt added to the sauce, to the potatoes. Everything's going to have a little bit of salt, so don't over salt these now. But just get them lightly browned, turn them, get each side lightly browned. You don't need to get hardcore brown like I see some people do. I've never seen that make a huge difference. And then once you're happy with that browning level, pull them out. I'm going to pour out a little bit of this beef tallow. I don't want the sauce to be overly oily, so just get rid of a little of that. And then we're going to throw those veggies, and we're going to let these just become translucent. Cook them down for probably 5-6 minutes, and you should be good. A little bit of salt here, a little bit of pepper here. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to keep adding it in stages. Once they're at the translucent level you're looking for, we're going to add in a little bit of red wine. This is about 1/4 cup, and we're going to reduce this by half. The Instant Pot took a little while to heat back up, so it was about 5 or 6 minutes. But once that's reduced, we're going to add those short ribs right back in. We're going to top it with the homemade beef stock I have. I'm also going to throw in those extra little bone bits just for a little snacking at the end. But it's good to definitely use homemade stock in here because you want that very gelatinous stock that will help your sauce at the end become really nice and glaze-like. Put on that lid, turn it to pressure cook, and we're going to cook these for 50 minutes. Here are the short ribs after those 50 minutes. We did a 15-minute natural steam release, and they are perfectly tender. The bones are out of most of them, and even the ones that they're still in, like it just falls right out. So put those off to the side. I separated the veggies from the rest of the sauce, and now we're going to cook it down to a glaze in my saucier. It's going to take about 5-10 minutes at a high heat to just really reduce this, but it'll create the perfect sauce for these short ribs. All right, so those were in there for about 50 minutes. They had a 10-minute natural cool down, was closer to 15. Then I released the steam, and now we're left with a nice little plate of short ribs. I have that sauce over in the pot cooking down, but I figured I'll take one of these smaller pieces, and let's see just how tender it is in general before we go forward and cook any more. This was a fatty piece, so there's definitely a good fat content in it, so it's not going to but it's breaking apart pretty well. Yeah, that's very tender, so I think it did a pretty good job. Let's see how the rest of this dish comes together, and then we'll just kind of rate it overall. Checking back in on the sauce here, you can see it's reduced probably about 50%, so we're going to throw those short ribs back in, let it keep going while they're in there, and we're going to slowly glaze them. And this will become a thicker and thicker sauce, and you're just going to stop when you get to the consistency you're looking for. At that point, I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of butter, let that melt into the sauce, and just continue glazing them. And you can see it has great body at this point. This is a perfect glaze for these short ribs, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. All right, so here we have the end result. It looks pretty good. It smells fantastic. Let's just dive into it. As you can see, it is beautiful fork tender. It braised perfectly. It's falling apart. I truly don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference between that and cooking in the oven for 5 or 6 hours. It's perfect. The sauce is maybe a little less that roasty deep flavor, but other than that, that's absolutely perfect. That's all I could want from this dish.